I don't drink, so whiskey. Whiskey, of course. Do I look like a guy who drank anything else? You didn't seem to have much trouble with the other drinks you enjoyed tonight. Slowly my nose was getting stuffed, and so I was like, I was trying to clear it out. That's because you were distracting me. Really? Am I that captivating? You were practically holding me captive from the start, so yes. Oh. He let out a low chuckle, shaking his head. Like this. There's something charming about his laugh. Maybe the way it comes from a deep in his chest. Gentle but resonate. Whiskey it is then, and only the best kind as the... What? What is this word? Men is a Yiddish term that literally means men, but can be used to refer to women as well. It is a compliment used to describe someone who is honorable and compassionate. Oh, thank you. I'll make sure to take excellent care of both you and your refined palate. You're acting like I'm already made up my... You're leaving? Meyer sips the last of his coffee and pushes it away, smoothing his hair back into one hand. I'm afraid so, Jack. I got some business to attend to, but I do hope I'll see you tomorrow. Oh, and tonight drinks are on my tree as a small token of thanks for your delightful company. Oh, thank you. I didn't want to pay for this. With a last knowing wink, Meyer steps away from the counter and slips into the crowd, mingling with the drunken sea. Wait. Okay, you know what? Saturday. I'm thinking. I'm off track. I was thinking about making chocolate muffins because, I finished my cinnamon rolls that I made last week. But I couldn't decide if I should make it today or Saturday because tomorrow I have work and, let's on Saturday. I wonder what business he's attending to. Well, never mind. I guess that concludes tonight's investigation. What a ride. Man, that takes my breath away. I leave the speakeasy unsure whether Meyer pulled one over on me or if I'm actually pulled one over on him. He sure is something, that Meyer. No one ever sweeps me into their pace so fast before. No, I should save this before something happens. I can't have a repeat. I can almost tell, still feeling the warmth of his breath on my skin. Oh. Tss, just a drink talking. Just a drink. And with a poor attempt to reassure myself, I stuff my hands in my pocket and begin the sobering walk home. Oh, he's sad. The gentle chirping of birds outside the window. The laughter of children on their way to school. The blinding sun. Why is our office so goddamn bright? Oh, my head. The things I do for this job, I swear. Cleveland Detective Agency. As I sit on my chair, sipping my morning coffee and try to ignore this horrible hangover, my eyes shift off to the clock. See? It's another reason not to drink. Hangovers. I hear people complain about hangovers all the time, but yet they still drink. Don't you get tired of hurting yourself? Leslie even later than normal. Wait, did I say latter? Later? What in the world? Wait, how did I... There's no two... There's only one T. I hope nothing's wrong. If he doesn't come in soon, maybe I should just leave a note and go nap in my car. You gonna nap in your car? Good morning. As if I summoned him from the bowels of sunny hell, Leslie suddenly burst into the office. In one hand, he's holding a stack of paper, and in the other, a cake. Is that a cake? Fresh from the Frank's bakery, I tell ya. Those fellas really nailed the whatever that is. Leslie reaches into the paper bag to grab a piece and happily stuff his face, chewing away with relish. Relish. That's the exact same cake Meyer asked for last night, isn't it? Is this some kind of conspiracy? Is every man in Cleveland eating these cakes except me? It's you. You need to get into these cakes, they're really good. Oh? Pausing, Leslie leans in to peer at my cake. Wait, what? Pausing, Leslie leans in to peer at my face. Oh. What? Frowning gently. How did I mistake that? You look a little under the weather, Richard. I want cake now. Your hair is all messy too, and I haven't even got my hair on it yet. Wait, what? Hands. I'm mixing up the words. Oh god, I need to take another sip. Don't tell me. No. You're not hungover, are you? Richard, you naughty boy. Listen, boss, could we go get our reports? Changing the subject, I see. Absolutely shameless. Leslie, who seems to think my hangover is the funniest thing in the world, chuckles all the way to his office chair. Yeah, laugh it out of your system while I sit here hoping for a spontaneous eclipse. Thanks for the lurk. I'll let you start off then, my little partying partner. What did you find out last night, in between shots that is? Ahem. Well, from what I heard, it sounds like the Italians aren't running the speakeasy, or even most of the liquor business. If I had to guess, it's either a big street gang or the Jewish mafia. Whoa. The Jewish mafia? It's true they've been growing in size around here lately, or so I heard. What makes you think it's them, though? I heard a couple fellas talking about the Italian mafia as competition, so it can't be them. After, the man I drank with, he was Jewish, and I had a pretty strong feeling he was some kind of mobster. Oh, tell me more. Perking up curiously, Leslie propped his chin on his hands and leaned forward to gaze at me from across his desk. He's got a bit of a whipped cream on one corner of his mouth, but I pretend not to notice. Guys said his name was Meyer, for starters. He was well dressed, a little too confident, and... Should I tell Leslie about the flirting? I mean, he doesn't really need to know, and I sort of like to enjoy the memory without being scolded. Oh, he wants to enjoy it. I like to enjoy the memory without being scolded, but... And he seemed important. I think he's important. Maybe a spy. Maybe an assassin. Not sure. Important. Why do you think he was talking to you? Beats me. Maybe he just wanted a drinking partner. Leslie drummed his finger on his desk, frowning thoughtfully. He didn't see through your cover? Probably. I mean, he is a bad liar. Sure didn't act like it. If he did. And I'm still alive, right? Fair point. Maybe your lying skill really has improved. His chair squeaks as he leans back, propping his feet up on the desk. And I just cleaned the mud off it yesterday too. Oh god. So he's important, maybe part of the mafia, but he didn't bump you off? It's slang for it to kill. It's thought to have its roots in the early underworld / criminal slang, like coined in the early 20th century. What do you plan to do about him? I was getting to that. Oh, I'm listening. He gestures for me to continue. Excuse me. Meyer offered me a deal for information. A deal? You're serious? I nod, barely resisting the edge to rub my forehead. Details on the mob in exchange for... This is so ridiculous I can barely say it out loud. In exchange for a cake. Oh, come off it, Richard. Tell me what you actually want. I know you're trying to get revenge for me teasing you, but... I'm being serious, boss. He wanted a cake. I know. Pointing at the paper bag that holds Leslie's half-eaten breakfast. But he's eating cake for breakfast? I put on the straightest face I can manage. It's from the neighborhood around Little Italy, right? Obviously that place owned by the Italian gang, so we can't get too close, but as for why he wants one, I got no clue. Maybe a kid at home who likes them? Sweet tooth? Forbidden fruit? Forbidden fruit. It reeks of a setup, Richard. Isn't that obvious? Leslie wrinkled his nose about the reaction I expected, and really not an unfair one. I thought about that, believe me. But if it was a setup, why would he invite me back? Wouldn't it have been easier to get rid of me right there? And he could have made his offer sound more serious too. Anyone with a half a brain would be suspicious. That's true, I suppose. I still don't like it though, not one bit. What are we gonna do, Leslie? He let out a heavy sigh, sticking a hand into the bag with his cake and tearing off a piece to idly munch on. Well, while you were having the time of your life last night, I was chatting with Mr. FBI. Oh, come on, I was investigating. Apparently, one of the city's politicians is hosting a big party at a hotel tonight. Thanks to our contact, I got us a pass today. Aside. Because you know what's going to be at that party, my dear Richard? A lot of liquor. A hell of a lot of liquor. Probably provided by the main source in Cleveland. Leslie and I exchanged knowing looks. I can already see what he's getting at. So you want to scope it out for information? It's a good bet, and a safe one. Once folks get drunk, there's no telling what kind of juicy information we'll get out of them. If we're lucky, some of it might even be related to our case. I wouldn't count on it. We snicker in our line of work. Both of us have seen our fair share of these ritzy orgies. Ritzy orgies. Glamorous, the style is something in the negative sense of being gaudy. What's... Okay, when I hear orgies, I think something different. I think you should come to the party with me tonight. With your smart and my good look, we'll bountify something before out. If you want my honest opinion... Leslie goes thoughtfully silent for a moment. Then, in a more serious look, darkened his brow. I think this rendezvous at the Speak is too risky. Even if Meyer doesn't mean you any harm, any other mob type around there might not feel the same way. True. But I also don't think you're green enough to walk into a death trap. Gee, thanks, boss. When I roll my eyes, Leslie offers me a soft, affectionate smile, the kind he only puts on once in a blue moon. I'm heading to a party either way, but I trust your judgment, Richard. You can decide for yourself where to go tonight. What it will be. As much as I hate to disappoint Leslie, my instincts are telling me the speakeasy is worth a gamble. Yes, we're gonna meet Meyer. It's a risk, no doubt, but one I feel I have to take. Shifting it off of my chair, I approach Leslie's desk to lean over it, giving him a firm look to show my conviction. Sorry, boss. I want to try my luck with Meyer. There's a lead there. I just know it. He knows it. Like I expected, Leslie doesn't look too thrilled with my choice. We're going to have a fun night with Meyer. But true to his words, he soon let out a good-natured sigh. Heartlessly leaving your partner in the dust, so that's what it comes to, eh? Fine. I'll just enjoy the free party food by myself. Not even going to bring me back a sandwich? Oh wait, that's me. Ask your new friend for one. Oh, he's jealous. Leslie huffs and I snicker at his playful suckiness, although I have to wonder if a little bit of it isn't genuine. Alright. But if you go, promise me you'll station a few officers near the speakeasy, just in case something goes wrong. You'll never know when trouble might pop up. Yeah, that's fair. I'll make the call this morning. Good boy. I'm not a dog. Then I won't worry. Well, I'll worry less about you. He reaches out to ruffle my hair. Aw. Luckily, it was already messy, so he didn't inflict too much damage. Now let's cannonball into the sack of paperwork. Been looking forward to it all morning. We spend the rest of the day going through reports. Most of them are related to Italian gang activities on the east side. It doesn't exactly put me at ease for when I leave the office, heading towards Little Italy to pick up Meyer's cake. I keep picturing his face, and my mind wanders to how he might react when I hand this to him. He's gonna laugh at you. Will it really make him happy? Aside from those distracting thoughts, though, my bakery trip is an uneventful one. Pies, cargo in hand, I end up at the speakeasy just as night settling in. Welcome, sir. Please enjoy your night. Ah, that's bright. The doorman gives me his customary greeting, and I casually nod while stepping past. I'm here for your cake. Here I am, a detective on a risky job, shuffling into a speakeasy with a cake in a paper bag, like some kid holding onto his school lunch. Not my finest moment. The place is packed full just like last night, which means I can't really pick Meyer out easily. I guess if I hang around the bar long enough, maybe he'll show up. I mean, he did show up last time. Oh, it's Mr. Jack. Only one person knows me by that name. A coarse voice, different from Meyer's, growled out behind me. Oh, this is a bad guy. It's him! The guy. The mystery guy. I turned to see one of the rough-looking men I noticed last night staring at me suspiciously. I want to pat you down. Make sure you aren't healed, understand? Who is this man? Healed refers to being armed, usually with a gun, like packing the heat would refer to later on. The earliest usage was around 1866. What? No one did this to me last night. What's the big deal? Would you shut up? I'm not here to answer your questions. Dang. He's getting a little bit too close. Before I have a chance to protest further, he grabs me and starts patting my pockets, roughly feeling around. This guy's trying to get a cope. Sorry, buddy. I'm gonna be taking this for tonight. The man pulls out the piece I've been carrying as insurance just in case things went south. Wait, piece? What do you mean piece? It's slang for firearm. Oh, you do. Oh, he does have a gun. Well, now I feel even more like a defenseless kid. Great. He really took our gun? Just don't pull any dumb moves and you'll be fine. Who are you? We like to keep things real cordial around here. Got it? Yeah, I got it. Good. Then we'll be heading to the back room. Wait, what? Whatever you... Wait, the back room? What's in the back room? Wait, where are you taking me? Wait! Oh no. The man suddenly grabs my wrist. I just got here. Pulling me along the speak permitting. What? My heart starts to pound in my chest. What am I getting dragged into? I told the officers not to get close to a place unless I was gone for a while. But who knows what happens in the meantime? My semi-captor takes me to the back of the parlor and down a long, dark corridor. The music and laughter fade slowly into the distance, replaced by only the sound of our footsteps. Ooh. Finally, we reach a large black door, and the man knocks firmly on it several times. Come in. What's going on? The door opens into a warmly lit, spacious parlor. Not exactly the scary, dank room I've been expecting. And there in the middle of the lush couch sits a familiar tall man. Meyer. Oh. Mr. Eastman, your friend's here. Yes, I can see that. Thank you for bringing him in. Make sure no one intrudes on us if you're so kind. Yes, sir. Meyer? What's going on? With a polite nod, the other man departs, closing the door behind him with a soft click. Once he's gone, Meyer and I stare at each other for a few seconds in silence. I can only think that this dramatic reintroduction was deliberate. He's a gang boss. He knows I can read the subtext. Well, I brought your cake. That's all you're gonna say? I lift the bag in my hand and shake it a little, laughing nervously. He's scared. Oh, I knew I could count on you. A pleased smile slowly spreads over his lips, and the slight sigh makes me relax a little. Don't be too relaxed. He passed the couch beside him, and I don't exactly feel like I'm in a position to refuse. I approach and tentatively lower myself down, sinking into the soft cushion. Why, you're as stiff as a sheet of glass. What's wrong, Jack? Your secretary back there wasn't exactly the most gentle of fellas. I apologize. They're used to dealing with kosher individuals than yourself. You see, and I forgot to tell them to use kid gloves. Kid gloves? Are you mocking me? To use kids gloves on with someone or something or someone means to treat it delicately or carefully. The term refers to gloves made from kid leather, the skin from a young goat. Oh. Which is extraordinarily soft and smooth. Wow. It's not that. I just wasn't expecting all of this. All of this? You mean a nice back room and a speakeasy? I wouldn't call it that. Meyer gives me a fox innocent look. Right, that's obviously what I was referring to. Anyway, here, your prize. I hope it didn't get smushed when your lackey was jostling me around. I offer Meyer the bag with the cake, and his eyes light up when he takes it from my hands. Did he really offer me? Was the deal really a cake? Wonderful, I can smell it already. I don't know what it says, so translate is it is hard to eat a stranger's bread. Prudently used by Jews in St. Louis, Missouri as of 1920. My rabbi used to say, but I like to pretend it doesn't apply to cakes. He gazed longingly at the bag for a moment, then sets it down. It went, yeah. A smile finds its way onto my lip before I even realize it. The way he likes sweets so much reminds me of Leslie. Oh, before I forget, I have something for you, Jack. A gun to my face, I know. Meyer leans in around the edge of the couch sofa, grunting softly before straining back with the bottle in hand. Old Forester Kentucky whiskey, the label reads. Oh, he got me whiskey. You remembered. I have an excellent memory, especially when it comes to people who catch my interest. I kind of like the sound that the bottle made. He takes a glass from the table beside him and starts to pour me a drink, humming softly. I noticed that he already got half an empty cup of coffee for himself, black as the night. I hate coffee. Ugh. Just a taste. Maybe I can tolerate iced coffee with like a lot of milk and sugar, but coffee is it just hurts. This is a quality product right here. I promise there is no ed involved. Meyer hands me the glass, letting his fingers brush against mine for a moment longer than necessary. Aw, thanks. You're quite the host. You expecting anything less? No, not from you. Ooh, he turns a little bit on the sofa, propping one elbow against the back so he can gaze at me head on. It's getting hot. Feeling slightly embarrassing under his stare, I take a curious sip of the drink. Damn, it goes down so easy. Oh, you know what else goes down easy? Good enough that I can see why you're not serving it out there. A man has to make a living. Unfortunately, buying and transporting high quality goods is expensive, not to mention risky. I much prefer to serve good liquor over the common swill, but it's not quite feasible yet. He paused for a thoughtful moment, though. His eyes flicked back to his face soon after. Why did I had an accent there? Well, about that information I owe you, assuming you're still interested in work. As I nurse my drink, Meyer begins to describe the main mafia figures in the city, along with the various racket they keep in great details. Combined with everything else I've seen tonight, I think it confirms my suspicion. He's near the top of the underworld food chain in Cleveland. He's not even trying to hide it. In fact, I think he's just playing a game with me, seeing how far we can take this before one of us has to state the obvious. Knowing that, you would think I'll be incredibly uncomfortable right now, but for whatever reason, being around Meyer puts me at a completely at ease. Maybe it's his disarming, casual mannerism or the soft and smooth way he speaks. There's nothing aggressive or thug-like about him, but he's perfectly composed. Occasionally, he shifts on the sofa beside me, brushing my leg with his own in a way that can't possibly be an accident. Oh! I can't tell what's going on behind his twinkling green eyes, but there's something playfully devious about the glances he... I'm running out of juice to talk. And I think that would make our trade just about even, no? So for my tongue, if it's burning so much. He finishes thorough description and with an impetuous wink, taking a sip of his coffee. You sure are familiar with all the gang activities here, aren't you? If I didn't know better, I almost think you control some of it yourself. Me? Oh my god. Why, I'm not sure what will lead you to such an outrageous conclusion. Instead of looking offended, though, Meyer presses in a little closer. His smirk suddenly grows mischievous. He's gonna kiss us. After all, it's rather rash to assume things about people you don't know particularly well. Don't you agree, Richard? He said our real name! You're such a bad liar, Richard! He caught you so fast! How do you... He smugly lifted a cake bag, rustling it before my face. Your name is on the label. Oh my god! You put your real name on the label! A mistake I couldn't expect from you, if you'll pardon my rudeness. Were you distracted at the time you purchased it? Wow. I have no words for this man. I'm not about to mention how I was daydreaming about him when I bought the coffee. Oh. I think I'd rather just let my professional pride take the fall. Of course I know you're a detective too, and I can guess why you're here. But please don't take it as a blow to your acting skills. I'm just well acquainted with a number of professional liars, you see. If you already know so much about me, why are you pouring me drinks rather than having me shot and dumped in an alley? 'Cause he loves you too. Meyer clicks his tongue, lightly waggling a finger at me. Wagging a finger. Violence is not how I prefer to do business, Richard. It's only ever a temporary solution. Violence begets violence, which is why you have warring Italian crime families rather than one consolidate power for quality. I need to let me relax a little bit. In most circus. Oh my god, I can't read. In most circumstance, I would much rather make friends than enemies. Friends like you, which is why you're not being dumped in an alley. Although I would never harm as a Yiddish phrase literally means pretty face. Oh, thank you. Like, no matter what my moral code was. He shifts on the couch. He shifts on the sofa again, this time letting his legs stay resting on my own. Oh. I swallow, relieved at Mayer's explanation, but actually aware of his face being a mere few inches to my right. He's going in. You certainly aren't like any other guys I've met, law-abiding or otherwise. Why don't you tell me more about what it's like being in this risky business? I clumsily attempt to slide the conversation in another direction, daring to glance over at Meyer. No, please. I know a one-sided agreement when I see one. With the gloating air of someone who's just caught their opponent cheating, Meyer shakes his head. I'll answer a few questions of yours, but only on the condition I can ask questions of my own. I swear on my honor to answer with the truth, and you'll do the same, but we can each avoid one question in exchange for a favor. Does that strike you as fair? Man, they're both so good looking. His tone usually casually rises up at the end, not so subtly, daring me to accept. I think I'll be an idiot to expect a businessman like yourself to play fair, but alright, I'll bite. That's what I like to hear. Meyer gives me a rakish, teasing grin, also pleased with my reply. As a gesture of goodwill, I'll even let you start. Really? How do you make any money with that kind of generosity? That was your first question. Oh, you'll be surprised. Does that count? Does that question count? As Meyer chuckled to himself, I paused and pondered on what to ask. What do I most want to know about? Ask about his history. Tell me about your background, your history. What was it like for you growing up? My question seems to catch Meyer off guard, but his surprise quickly shifted into a gentle, pleasing expression, and he nods in acknowledgement. I was raised in a cozy little Jewish community in Missouri, where I lived until a few years ago. I'm sure you'll find this hard to believe, but I always kept to myself as a boy. I rarely spoke to anyone. I suppose you could say I was afraid of rejection. Our rabbi was my closest friend. We ate corned beef sandwich and talked about baseball on the weekends. Looking back now, I think he was as lonely as I was. He chuckled softly, gaze flickering down to the coffee table and lingering on his cup. I can't imagine Meyer ever being withdrawn. I guess he didn't develop his charisma until later. Several days after my bar mitzvah, a few boys who I'd never seen before approached me on the street. Meyer, they said, you're a tall, strong guy. Why the hell are you playing with the rabbi instead of making money? I realized I didn't have much of an answer. We formed a merry little crew. It was enjoyable to have that kind of attention from my peers, and my desire to fit in was why I began doing jobs with them. Aww. Eventually, my name garnered a certain reputation. The association grew, people started looking up to me, and somehow I ended up at the top of it all. Mayer's eyes returned to me. I can't really read the true emotions behind them. Nostalgia, regret, or satisfaction. The rabbi, you know whatever happened to him? We don't speak anymore. Aw. He gave me one of those brief, thin-lipped smiles, the kind you only show to be polite. Again, it's hard to see through what it means, but I can detect a little longing in its voice. You know, I've always separated mobsters from real people in my head, like you were all just monsters who lost your humanity. But listening to you talk, I guess it makes me realize how we're not so different after all. Oh, they're all so cute. I twirl my glass between my fingers, unsure if that knowledge makes me more happy or grim. Meyer studies me in the silence for a little while. It's not an awkward silence though, just a thoughtful one. Well, your turn. For a question, you have one? Oh, I have many. When the silence finally breaks, Meyer gives me a wary grin. His eyes momentarily flicks down to my mouth. Yeah, I'm listening. Alright, what's your greatest fear? My greatest fear? Well, I think it's the dark. Or heights. He nods, watching me expectantly. No immediate answer pops into my head, so I mull over the question for a moment. My greatest fear? Something that would keep me from sleeping at night. Hurting innocent people. Oh? I nod, forcing a brief, awkward smile as I take another sip of my drink. Meyer doesn't add anything further, though. Is he waiting for me to elaborate? I just think it's my duty, well, the duty of everyone in law enforcement, to make sure Americans are safe and happy. But they don't do that. That's why we exist. It's not just a job you do for money. It's a job that lets you go home feeling better about the world, even if it's just a little bit. A lot of people share the same feeling. Meyer look at social media. Meyer tilts his head a little to one side, eyes glimmering at me. Then his hand slips into my shoulder, resting there gently for a few seconds before squeezing it. Very admirable, Richard. Although I have to wonder just where his Volstead fits into this. He trails off curiously. Is he trying to lead me somewhere with that vague comment? Well, it's your turn, isn't it? Why don't you ask me something lighthearted? I don't mind if we get more personal. He leans in a little more, hand still lingering on my shoulder. Whoa, you're getting a little bit too close. I can smell his light cologne and the subtle earthy scent of coffee. I've been trying desperately to keep my nerves under control, but it's getting harder and harder the more Meyer teases into my personal space. Oh! Asks if he has a lover, asks what his favorite activity is. Oh. What? I can't act too desperate, you know. What's your favorite activity? Well, what's your favorite thing to do? Favorite hobby, favorite activity? I'm sure you don't just sit around here and drink coffee all day, right? And if I did, would there be something wrong with that? Well, no, I just meant... I know. In fact, I think I know what you meant meaning better than you do. You just keep letting him tease you. He shamelessly meet my indignant stare, and I just don't doubt he's enjoying every moment of it. It depends. What does? My favorite activity. It depends on who I happen to be with. Oh, I like that. Shall I let you figure out the rest, or would you like me to spell it out for you? More what? I'm having a brain fart. I think I get the idea, thanks. Your turn, go on. Pausing, Meyer makes a show of tapping a finger against his bottom lip, turning his eyes toward the ceiling. It's such an obvious display that I know for a fact he's already got his question picked out, and he's just toying with me. I drain the last of my glass in an attempt to act casual, turning my head away slightly. Ah, I got one. What memory do you have of your first kiss? Please describe it in great details. No! I nearly choked on my drink. So this is what he was planning all along. I'm listening, very intently. Hold on, Damn it, I know this is what he wants me to say, but... It will be a cold day in hell before I tell this guy I never properly kissed anyone before. Can I just trade the favor? Oh? Don't feign surprise, you bastard. In that case, I suppose I'll take you up on that favor right now. I reflectively squeeze my eyes shut, sucking in a breath. It's happening! It feels like my chest is going to explode.